Hi everyone! Yes, well, I'm back again, and once again, yes, for Atakus reactions. And today we're continuing with the Ranger team ups, and today is Power Rangers SPD. Though I don't know, this is meant to be chronologically before the end of the series, but it says both on Netflix and online. I've just checked that it's episode 38. And it comes after Endings Part 2, the finale, so I don't quite know why, because Endings Part 2 is the end of it. Grum's defeated, and Sky is promoted to Red Ranger, Jack's left, whatnot, and set up the clothing business for charity. Yeah, but it does say it's episode 38, so yes, this is the second SPD and Dino Thunder team up, Wormhole. Just before we start, I will say that I'm quite sure now that this is the last single episode I've done. I have already done the first one, History, because I say they had two separate team ups in Dino Thunder with they had two separate team ups, sorry, in SPD with the Dino Thunder Rangers. So it's not a two-parter; they're two separate episodes. One be the first one, which I've already done, History, which is where the Dino Rangers come to the future, and then the second one where the SPD Rangers go to the past, the Dino Thunder's present time. So yeah, okay. So yeah, as I say, this is right. Then we'll start looking at doing all the double episode ones. So yep. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay. Come on. Start. Oh, come on. Sorry, we're just waiting for the episode to load here. I don't know what's going on, if it's the weather or something slowing, atmospheric conditions just slowing Netflix down. Right. So yes, and this theme song is really kick-ass, I've got to say. I really like the SPD theme song. So, yeah, this season back in 2006, yeah, it was quite a good time for me. I was finally out of issues with school, and I was in my last year of school, and yeah, I remember just really watching this back in 2006 and enjoying it. So if I remember right, it came to the UK around sort of, I think it aired originally, I think it started in January 2006 in the States, and it started to roll out internationally around about a couple of months later, sort of March, April time, as I remember, on what was called Jetix at the time, Fox Kids, Jetix. So yes, we open up Grum's ship. Why they fight for such a worthless planet? All their inevitable fates, but the fact remains. So Grum's debating with himself with his second personality thing about why the Rangers bother fighting him, either to try and win a victory or just to eventually meet their inevitable fate. So yes, this spirit thing that's just come over and sort of correcting Grum probably is the spirit of I don't know, is it Omni? Yeah, thing Grum's actually working for the creature Omni, trying to build that body for him. So yeah, we've cut to the SPD Delta base. We find out that Grum has apparently left this time period, and they assume that he's left, he's retreated. And Kruger's just firmly said, he believes even though Grum has gone, he is not retreated. And yes, it turns out he's obviously gone through a wormhole to go back in time.
Sounds like retreating to me. That's what he wants us to think. So then where is he going? More important question, what time is he going to?
So now we cut to Reefside High in 2004. So yes, this is clearly, yes, this is the Dino Thunder present time. So clearly the Dino Thunder team is still active at this point.
Can you believe it? It's just a game, Ethan. Yeah, you're acting as if it's real. But if it is real.
So yeah, Ethan's being his usual geeky-soid self, playing on like a handheld game console.
In a distant galaxy, far, far away.
Ethan, your mind is the only thing that is far, far away.
Oh. Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, Ethan's giving us a history lesson on something.
Yeah, Kira's got a guitar, and as usual, Connor's playing soccer or football.
But it could be the future. Remember, it's just a game.
So we've just seen Grum's ship now flying over the school. It turns out Ethan's theory he's just found in his game exactly predicted that. So.
Earth 2004. We defeat her now, and then when we return to the future, there will be no resistance.
So Grum's revealing that since Earth is the only planet he's not yet conquered in 2025, he plans to conquer it in this time, so when he returns to the future, it's already defeated. And Mora's just brought a new creation to life.
No. I want you to draw more monsters, Mora. More. Make sure this time we prevail.
A wormhole is a thin tube of space.
So yeah, so now we cut to New Tech City in 2025,
that could provide the possibility of
and there's Z, Jack, and Bridge.
Correct. Commander.
I believe Grum has become frustrated with the resistance SPD has shown, and has decided to take the Terra and his battle into the past where victory will be certain.
We can't just let him do that.
We won't. We will go after him.
Into the wormhole?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm sending just the 3 of you.
So Kruger's plan is just at the moment to send 3 Rangers, and it does make sense considering even though Grum's not there, Broodwing's still around in the present time. So
When you say your goodbyes, do you mean say goodbye as in see you later? Or do you mean say goodbye as in goodbye? Wait. Don't answer that.
Next time you predict the future.
So yes, we do have, since this is now the present time in Dino Thunder, yes, Trent's there as well. Oh, it looks, yep, and Zeltrax is showing up with some Pteranodrones.
Last chance. Anyone want to turn back? Alright. Let's go.
So yes, they're now in a ship. The SPD Rangers are entering the wormhole, and now we cut back to Reefside. No, but something is beaming Zeltrax and the Pteranodrones up, which seems to be Mesagog's ship.
Wonder what they wanted with Zeltrax.
Does it really matter? Hopefully they'll take him into space and sell him for scrap metal.
It is, it's all good. Zeltrax is gone and so are they. Yeah, but they aren't.
And yes, now the SPD ship has landed.
Connor, Kira, Ethan, nice to see you guys.
And clearly the SPD Rangers recognise the Dino Rangers because they've obviously been to the future, but obviously they had their memories erased, so they wouldn't remember. So it turns out, yes, Grum knows of Zeltrax, and he's force recruited him into working for him.
You and your troops will help me strike down the Power Rangers, or I will stop. No need to go on. Eliminating the Power Rangers. It would be my pleasure. Excellent. My warriors will help you.
Okay, let me see if I got this straight. You guys are from the future, and you're Power Rangers.
And you're chasing an emperor named Grum, who's trying to conquer the future Earth.
And Grum came to defeat Earth now, so in the future, he'll already conquer it. And you know these guys because they were brought to the future and helped you out? Okay, let's go out on a limb and say you're telling us the truth. Why don't we remember any of this? Oh, I know.
So Bridge is basically telling the Dino Rangers why they have no memories of being transported into the future. Well, there's actually two reasons for that. Yes, one being the obvious one, which has pointed out, is that they had to erase their memories to stop them interacting with elements of their future that haven't happened to them yet. But there's also that time that they were brought to the future took place after they had been Rangers in this time period. So technically, this is all before that, both in the present and future time.
The wormhole.
So now we cut back to New Tech City, where
They won't be coming back.
Kat has found out that the wormhole is closing, and now it looks like there's an attack on the side. Oh, it's an orange head robot.
This area in the name of the Trubian Empire.
Not so fast, pumpkinhead.
And Jax come to battle the orange head robot.
Signal's getting strong.
So the 3 SPD Rangers are split up, and Bridge has run into
Any last words, Ranger?
a tribe of blue heads and primates. Ooh. I'll say the henchmen for SPD were really good, because other than, you know, the monsters Mora creates and all the just standard criminals that Broodwing hires, but the bot army that, you know, Broodwing provides Grum with for a price, as he says, is good. You've got these orange head robots that can fight, you know, the team of Rangers on their own and be a standard match for them. But, you know, and the Crimots, even though they make that really dumb sound, were quite, you know, impressive sort of foot soldiers. Where's Z then?
Now I'm really mad.
So yeah, at the moment Jack and Bridge are just engaged in battle, and I suppose this is important to bring up the time that supposedly in this time period, this Mesogog hasn't been defeated yet. Clearly we don't see him, probably because it was too expensive to bring Latham Gaines back and shoot footage, but I'm sure wouldn't he be pissed off if another evil leader has captured his chief henchman?
Wormhole is closing. I need to go after the Rangers and warn them. I'll go with you, sir.
So yes, we're now cut back to SPD Delta Base with Doggy Kruger, Omega Ranger, Sky, and Sid.
And we stay here. And Grum wins. Then being here will be unnecessary. There won't be a here.
He's right, sir.
So they're debating now that they should go with Kruger to help the others. Kruger's reluctant, since there'll be no one left to protect the future. But Sky's very wisely pointed out that if Earth is defeated in the past, Earth won't be around in the future, so none of that would matter. Except the fact, supposedly, yes, that Broodwing is still around there,
Which
but,
doesn't make any sense because the Trubian energy around here is off the
you know,
chart.
if they're not all there, we won't have an impressive climax to the team. So yes, Zeltrax has shown up clearly in defeat, and it's because he's battling Tommy, Black Ranger, who, something I know about this, actually, this wasn't voiced by Jason David Frank, this was voiced by Jeff Perazzo, who played Trent. I assume because they probably couldn't afford to fly Jason Frank back out to New Zealand to reassume the role, so he's just in his Ranger form, and Jeff tried to do his voice.
Well,
We could assume maybe this takes place in the time where Tommy was stuck in his Ranger form for 10 episodes of Dino Thunder, so...
Guys, I think it just got worse.
Oh yeah, so it looks like, yeah, the Tyrannodrones and Zeltrax, and now the SPD foot soldiers are all working together. And more, it's Mora's 3 new monsters as well. So.
Better late than never. You guys ready? Black Ranger, I read all about you. Time to go to work.
I'll say that, yeah, Trent Actor's not doing a bad job of providing Tommy's voice. It's a good, It's a good mimic. You can clearly tell it's not Jason Frank, but yeah, it's a good mimic of it. So it's morphing time.
Check this out.
And Trent just morphs in sync. Supposedly, when he'd normally say White Ranger Dino Power, he says Dino Thunder Power up with the others, but clearly, yes, it's clearly to save time and money.
Your toe cell tracks. Oh, really? Don't bother getting up.
Oh, now, yes, now the remaining SPD Rangers have shown up to the battle.
We thought you might need some help.
Let's do it. Sorry we're late. Someone forgot to send us an invitation to the party. Pleasure to meet you. Likewise.
So Kruger and Tommy are teaming up now to fight Zeltrax.
This is better than I could have hoped for. Victory is ours. Surround them.
So yes, now the Rangers are standing in a circle and they're surrounded by all the bad guys.
Size of my army.
It is true. You had us outnumbered. But remember, it is not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. No one gets inside our circle. No one gets inside. 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 No one gets inside.
No one gets
No one
inside.
gets inside. No one gets
No
inside.
one gets inside.
No one gets inside. You got it, Commander. Attack.
As I say, something I know Linkara pointed out, and he's quite right, is that in a lot of the Power Ranger team-ups, one thing that team-ups in this series don't do is where one team overshadows the other. Yeah, you know, in this case, they work perfectly well in sync together.
Blast this clown.
So all the girls have just defeated Mora's first monster. Trent, so Trent's battling a bunch of henchmen along with Omega Ranger. It really is good to see. The whole thing about being in sync is like when, you know, the Rangers from the current series team up with their equivalent from the past one. Yeah, and so another thing that's been pointed out is, you know, it's just seeing all the, you know, two different powers that come from different sources. Seeing them work together is fantastic, really. So, yes, Ethan, Sky, and Bridge are taking care of the second monster. So yeah, now all the bad guys are up in their state with you know, kick-ass blasts. So yes, Kruger and Tommy have now basically just brought Zeltrax down to defeat.
That was great teamwork.
This is no longer my battle, but I will see you again, Black Ranger.
Yeah, so Zeltrax has now retreated, but clearly they can't destroy him since this takes place in the Dino Thunder period. So Jack and Connor are now battleizing up. So it looks like the last monster's the only one left. And of course, Jack and Connor team up to take it down. So now they're using their finishing moves. Like Connor's got his battleizer missiles, and Jack's using his battleizer sonic mode. And yep, that's all the bad guys done. So now, yes, Grum's bitterly angry at his defeat. And he's decided to stay in the present time because, so he can just conquer Earth and then there. But now, Mora is pointing out.
No matter, I'll defeat Earth now.
Yes, so she's pointing out that if he goes back, that if he stays behind in this time, then he's going to have to reconquer all the galaxies and planets he's already defeated. So now, Grum sees sense and returns to the future. So we've got the last few foot soldiers to take out. So the SPD Rangers are summoning Rick to form his canine cannon mode. And the Dino Rangers are forming the full Z-Rex Blaster with all 5 weapons. They're all going to give us they're all going to tell us what their colours are and codes are. I suppose like for Shadow, Omega, Shadow and Omega, they don't really have colours. So now we cut back to the school, and it's time to say goodbye to each other.
I mean, you're time travelers, right? So no matter how long you stay, you can still get back at the same time.
Not true. The wormhole's closing. We gotta go.
Yeah, so the Dino Rangers would like the SPD guys to stay around for a bit, assuming that no matter how long they stay till they can get back at the same time, but that's not the case because the wormhole is rapidly closing, and Bridge has just said he was just born last week in this time, so he could meet himself as a baby.
We have to.
But yes, but they're also pointing out that the SPD Rangers have to erase the Dino Thunder Rangers' memories once again because they have knowledge of their future that's not happened to them yet.
School's over. Go home.
Did that dog just talk?
I think so. It really doesn't seem fair that they're not going to be able to remember any of this.
I agree.
So this time it's decided that the SPD Rangers shall have their memories erased of the mission too. And now they have no idea where they are, except for Kruger.
Commander? Excuse me, I don't mean to sound confused. But where are we?
We're on a mission, Jack. Now get in the shuttle and buckle up. We have preset coordinates to take us home.
Sounds good.
Now, one last detail.
And now finally,
Keys.
Doggy Kruger has erased his own memory.
Yeah.
I think, okay, maybe it was fair that he erased his memories too, but he should perhaps have waited till he got back.
I have underestimated the enemy.
Now we cut back to Grum's ship.
That is not necessary.
Once again, he's stating the obvious that he's underestimated his enemy,
I will prepare for your arrival.
and saying to the magnificent Omni, I assume that yes, he's Omni, that he will prepare for his arrival. Right, okay. And that's the end of it. Okay, yeah, so that was Power Rangers SPD, episode 38, Wormhole. As I say, yeah, that's a really good team up. In some ways, I do think it's better than History. I mean, History isn't bad, but and ideally this one's better. It's unique because they go back to a time period where the previous Ranger team are actually where it's their time. You know, when that season's supposedly taking place. Yeah, we don't see all the elements of the Dino Thunder period, but it's easy to understand why, given, yeah, obviously the team-ups really don't use Sentai footage, it'd be very expensive. It would have been nice to have included Mesogog in some way, maybe going after Grum for capturing Zeltrax and that, but anyways. Yeah, as I say, and once again, you know, the team-up, you know, the team-up fight scene is brilliant. All the style and martial arts is all in really good sync. And you know, and the use of all the use of the two different powers, you know, really works out, and that works out in most team ups, and we're going to get some really good examples of that really good showings of that rather in the future ones, because now we're going to be moving on to the double episode team ups. Just to say, due to just some slight technical issues, nothing major, but they probably won't come out as frequently because it will take me longer to upload the two-parter ones, but nonetheless I will do them, and we'll be starting with them very soon. So yes, that was my reactions to Power Rangers SPD episode 38, Wormhole. Okay, as usual, you're all awesome. If you like, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave any comments just down there. Once again, thank you. Bye.